What's up, everybody? Tyson Rouse, Let's Talk Jets Radio. We broadcast live every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. We haven't been doing shows for a while, just taking a break. This world's crazy right now, and it's very hard to focus on football when there's so much going on. So we've kind of taken a break. Also, we don't want to really produce a lot of stagnant content. Everybody's kind of talking about the same thing, so it kind of gets boring, and we don't really want to bore you with that. So we've been doing fan series interviews, and we said we did a show last night, so we're getting back into it. Once the season gets up and running, we'll be doing a lot more videos and everything else. So we apologize for the delays and the lack of content overall. This video is going to be about Sam Darnold. And on our Twitter account, @TalkJetsRadio, there's a lot of debates between Josh Allen versus Sam Darnold. And, who's better and who did this and who did that and who went to the playoffs and who didn't and everything else. And it kind of made me think about, where is Sam Darnold now, as compared to all the other young quarterbacks in football? There's probably 5 or 6 of them. And, it's about his talent, but it's also about his supporting cast around him. And where does that rank him amongst the NFL? So I'm going to give you a couple of things. I have notes because I can't remember all this. I'm old and I'm just tired. So, for example, Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury, offensive guy. But look at his wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk. Plus running backs, Kenyon Drake, Chase Edmonds. So you got, legit Larry Fitzgerald. Yes, he's older. DeAndre Hopkins is an all-world talent. So in terms of playmakers around Kyler Murray, he's got tons of them. Plus he's got an offensive coordinator and a coach in Cliff Kingsbury who's going to maximize his potential, and he's in a position to succeed. So in terms of comparing that situation to the Jets and Sam Darnold, where you have Le'Veon Bell, Crowder, Perryman, Mims, Herndon, and Griffin, and Adam Gase. I would say right now, Kyler Murray and his supporting cast better than Jets and Sam Darnold. Does that make Kyler Murray a better quarterback than Sam Darnold? Not necessarily. It's just he's in a better chance to succeed, and they can maximize his potential. Next team, we'll go to the Buffalo Bills, which started this whole thought process to begin with. Now, Josh Allen, a lot of guys want to say he's a running quarterback, he's not a good passer, everything else. The kid went to the playoffs last year. He did some good things. But more importantly, look at his supporting cast. Stephon Diggs, John Brown, Cole Beasley, Devin Singletary, Zach Moss. I mean, you look at that and you compare it to the Jets, you say, okay, how do they compare? Devin Singletary is a speedster. John Brown had a big year last year. Stephon Diggs, a Pro Bowl caliber receiver. I think it's safe to say they probably, Le'Veon Bell with the Jets is kind of an X factor. He's got, all-world talent. But will they maximize it? Did he lose a step last year, or was it the play calling? Will the offensive line behind Becton let him flourish? So it's interesting to see there what's the better scenario? Is it the Buffalo Bills, what they have, and the supporting cast compared to the Jets? I would say you could make an argument that the Bills' supporting cast is maybe a little better than Jets. Hopefully you can get a breakout year from Perryman. Crowder is still very good. I guess you could say Crowder and Beasley kind of offset each other. But then John Brown and Diggs versus what the Jets have. The running backs. I mean, it's an interesting discussion there. I'd say, I don't think Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, but I think that he's in a better situation currently, than Sam Darnold. The next team, the Cleveland Browns, my boy Baker Mayfield. I mean, this kid's got it made. If he ever can get good coaching, you got, Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, David Njoku, and Austin Hooper. I mean, it's apples and oranges. If you can say who's the better quarterback, Mayfield or Sam Darnold, look at give Sam Darnold those weapons, or give Sam Darnold the weapons in Buffalo, give Sam Darnold the weapons in Arizona, and you really see what he can do. But right now, it's not that situation. So you can say Baker Mayfield going into the season is in a better position to succeed than Sam Darnold is. We'll keep going. The crosstown, New York Giants, Daniel Jones, the fumbling machine. People like to criticize the kid. For his first year, he did a lot of very good things. But then you say, okay, what is around him? You got what? Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram, who I like. These guys got to stay healthy. Darius Slay came on last year. Sterling Shepard, pretty good guy. He's got to stay healthy. And Golden Tate, Notre Dame guy that I've always liked, pretty good receiver. How would you compare that supporting cast against the Jets? That's kind of like it depends on how you value players. I think Darius Slay is a pretty good player. Golden Tate, I think he's a solid player as well. Barkley versus Bell. I think Barkley was younger, more explosive. The offensive lines they both were kind of struggling a little bit. It's an interesting comparison there. I think Darnold's a better quarterback than Daniel Jones, but I'm not really sure how you would compare the two supporting casts there. What the coaching staff are going to do, Jason Garrett coaching, Daniel Jones as opposed to Adam Gase and Dowell Loggins. I don't know. So we're going to go on. Denver Broncos, Drew Lock. Now you give him Jerry Jeudy, who a lot of Jet fans wanted, KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton, who is a rising star in the NFL. Tight end, Noah Fant, pass-catching monster. Then running backs, Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, Royce Freeman. Okay, I mean, they did right by their young quarterback. We say, listen, as a Jet fan, you got to listen. You got to respect what they did. They gave this kid a plethora of talent around him. Now, people are going to say, are you discounting Mims? I'm not discounting Mims at all. What is your expectation from him in year one? 30 or 40 catches? Who's Sam Darnold's go-to guy going to be? You can maybe say it's going to be Chris Herndon if he stays healthy. But overall, if you compare supporting cast Broncos versus Jets, you may lean Broncos a little bit. This is all up. This is just my honest opinion. I'm just a fan. I'm not an analyst. I'm not going to give you X's and O's. I'm not going to break down film or shit like that. I'm just giving you my opinions here. Then the last one, and this is an interesting one, is the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown, Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, tight end Mark Andrews, the beast, and Nick Boyle. Now, the Ravens are interesting because Lamar Jackson is more of a running quarterback. Their offense is so different than anybody else's. But what they do is they embrace it and say, listen, we know what Lamar Jackson is, and we're going to put guys around him that match his skill set. You have the tight end, you have the running backs, you have all these moving parts. They could probably use another receiver, but it fits for them. Like they know what they are, and they're embracing it, and they're maximizing it. So are these parts better than the Jets? I could say maybe not. Mark Ingram is a very good back. J.K. Dobbins. The Jets could have more parts, but the offense and the system that's put around Lamar Jackson may be better than the system that Adam Gase gives Sam Darnold. So I guess the moral of the story is, it's when you're trying to compare all these young quarterbacks, it's easy to say, Darnold's better than Josh Allen. Okay, now why is Josh Allen winning 10 games and Darnold's only winning 7, minus the mono and all the other shit? Or, is Darnold better than Kyler Murray? And when you have these arguments and these conversations, you got to look at the full thing, the full picture. Number one, who's the head coach? Number two, who's the offensive coordinator? 3, how good is the offensive line? Then it's, what is the supporting cast around him? Is there game-breaking elite talent, or are they all complementary role players? And then you factor it all in, and then you can get your true assessment. So Sam could be the best quarterback in the AFC East and not win the division. It's unfortunate. Or you could say, hey, you know what? I think Sam Darnold's better than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield could put up much better numbers based on the position he's in. So this is the challenge for Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas's priority number one was upgrade the offensive line, which on paper he did it. Becton's a beast. McGovern's a very good center. The rest, we got to play it out. But then you got to say, okay, if you got 3 or 4 new starters on the offensive line, how quick can they gel? How quick can they get on the field? How quickly can everybody keep Sam upright? Does it take 3 or 4 weeks? If it's 3 or 4 weeks, are those 3 losses? And then you're behind the 8 ball again. Then it's like, okay, you have a revamped offensive line, and you're going to have two new starting wide receivers and Perriman and Mims. Not ideal again. So now it's like you have a lot of moving parts. Then the return of Herndon, who didn't really get a feel for this offense last year. There's a lot of moving parts here where you look at other teams where, Baker Mayfield, all these guys, they're coming back. You got that. Daniel Jones has worked with all these guys. Who else? Josh Allen. Well, Stephon Diggs is new for Josh Allen. DeAndre Hopkins is new for Kyler Murray. It's interesting, man. It's so fascinating to see how everybody's trying to evaluate Sam Darnold and comparing to other people when he could be a step behind everybody else in terms of what's around him, how the Jets are building around him, how the Jets are coaching him. How does Adam Gase compare against Cliff Kingsbury? Where do you rank him? There's so many different things that go in here. And that's why I don't understand some of the criticism of Sam Darnold. Some fans saying it's a make or break year for him. I think that's a complete crock of shit. I think the Jets have to do more for him. And unfortunately, and this is we're getting to the point now, we want to see where he is before his contract comes up. So you get this year, next year, then what are you going to do? So we'll see what happens. It's just fascinating to see how this all comes out, how teams are building around their quarterback. Obviously, this is Joe Douglas' first year to do it, so we saw what his plan was. I still wish you would have drafted 2 receivers. I still hope that somebody gets cut, a veteran receiver that's still good, or you look at a Paul Richardson or a Taylor Gabriel or somebody else. You want more veteran receivers, and you want explosive guys. And and just see what you can get out of him. And I think most importantly, you need Le'Veon Bell to have a monster year. Listen, I know people like Perrine and they want to give me this Frank Gore speech, and I like Josh Adams, but Bell has got to be a beast. Beast meaning 1,200 yards rushing, 500 yards receiving, game-breaking talent that keeps the offense or the defense off balance. You can't have defenses stacking the box, daring Sam to beat him. A, we can't run the ball. B, we can't control the line of scrimmage. And C, the receivers aren't getting open. Because then we're back to where we were last year, and it's a clusterfuck. So just some things to keep in mind when all these arguments are coming up. I'm a big Sam fan. I think he has all-world talent. I think he can do a lot of things. I think they need to do a better job of doing plays that he enjoys working on, like rolling out of the pocket. If there's an empty back set and he's getting his ass kicked, change it. Make the kid comfortable and let him flourish. Self-scout your team and just say, okay, listen, you're good at this. We're going to keep doing this until defense stops it. No need to get clever and tricky and all this other shit. Just play call the way it's supposed to be done. Like, do what you told us. Like, take advantage of the mismatches. If the team can't stop the run, smash them out the ball until they stop the run. Don't get cute. Don't overthink things, and see what happens. So this video is going to be in 12 minutes. So just some thoughts on the how Sam stacks up, how the Jets stack up as an organization compared to other young quarterbacks. So I'm Tyson Roush, TRoush21 on Twitter. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll try to do more videos as things kind of clearing up in this world, and we'll talk to you then.